Good morning, everybody. On behalf of TAG VHS Diabetes Research Center and the VHS Diabetes Department, we have great pleasure in welcoming you to the third annual day celebrations of TAG VHS and the World Diabetes Day celebrations. We request the dignitaries to take their seat on the dais. Dr. C.V. Krishnaswamy, Chairman TAG VHS. Please lead the dignitaries. Dr. B.M. Hegde, Co-Chairman TAG VHS Diabetes Research Center and former Vice Chancellor of Manipal University. Dr. Ramesh Chandrasekharan, Vice Chairman TAG VHS and Head of the Department, Diabetes Department VHS. Professor S. Suresh, Honorary Secretary, Voluntary Health Services. Professor Krishnamurthy Srinivas, Emeritus Professor of Neurology, Voluntary Health Services. Shri N. Sugalchand Jain, Managing Trustee, VHS. May I request all of you to rise for the prayer. I call upon Dr. A. Srivatsa to welcome this august gathering.
It is a great pleasure on behalf of VHS Diabetes Department, the VHS Diabetic Research Center, to welcome you all to the VHS Diabetic Research Center Expo, the Diabetes Department's World Diabetes Day celebrations, the third annual day Diabetic Research Center's talk, and a book released by the late Sri V. Sundaram, IAS, a friend of ours. I have a great pleasure to welcome Sri N. Sugalchand Jain, Managing Trustee of VHS, who is going to inaugurate the expo. Mr. D.R. Karthikeyan, former Director of CBI, who has accepted to be the guest of honor for this meeting. I welcome Professor Suresh, Honorary Secretary, to preside over the function. I welcome Professor B.M. Hegde, a friend, philosopher, and guide to our department. He will be delivering the third annual day lecture. I welcome Dr. Ramesh Chandrasekharan, Head of the Diabetes Department, VHS, who will be delivering his talk for the World Diabetes Day. I welcome Professor Krishnamurthy Srinivas, who has accepted our invitation to release the book by Mr. Sundaram, IAS. I welcome Dr. CVK, Dr. Prema for standing by us, and who is also, Dr. CVK is going to make a historic announcement on remissions in type 1 diabetes. I welcome Dr. Chaturvedi, Colonel Chaturvedi from JSS Hospital, Mysore. I welcome all the donors, friends who have sustained our efforts over the years. I welcome the press and media. I welcome the staff and colleagues of VHS Hospital. I welcome you all for the exciting day function.
Swami will now honor each of the dignitaries with an Angavastha. We begin the 4-in-1 function with a lecture by Dr. Ramesh Chandrasekharan, Head of the Department of the VHS Diabetes Department. The talk will be on healthy living with diabetes. This is a World Diabetes Day theme talk. Over to Dr. Ramesh Chandrasekharan.
Professor Hegde, Professor Krishnamurthy Srinivas, Professor Suresh, respected colleagues, donors, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here amongst you, especially to see you in large numbers and see a lot of our children here from the VHS Diabetes Department present here. And it gives me a great pleasure to talk about how to live healthy with a problem called diabetes. First of all, I would not go into detail about types of diabetes we have, the problems we face, why are we worried about diabetes and things. I'll just rush through them and mainly focus on how to find ways to live healthy with the problem. Right. Diabetes is characterized by an increased glucose concentration associated with abnormalities in carbohydrate, fat and protein metabolism, as we know, and a variety of microvascular and macrovascular complications. That is the worry we have with the problem called diabetes. So it's either from an inadequate supply of insulin or an inadequate tissue response to actions. Right, these are the things in short where we see the problems affected: the nerves, the small blood vessels, the large blood vessels, the kidney, and a lot of times we find that at diagnosis we find this problem already existing. Next. Well, we have these type, we have one of the pioneers or one of the biggest centers here dealing with type 1 diabetes. We, as we will see later, a number of children we have who live healthy and who are here, who have performed today and are going to win a lot of prizes for a lot of these games they have today. Type 2 diabetes, which is a big problem. The other types of diabetes, gestational and others we will touch upon. Next. So the risk we do today, there is a relevance of family history. When you have a risk of developing type 1 diabetes for an individual with an affected relative, that's what we see with a sibling. There is about 8 times the risk of getting type 1, mother 2 to 3, father 5 to 6, both parents. There's about 1 in 3, 30% chance of child developing type 1 diabetes. Next. And we have in type 1, we have what we call autoimmune, and there is a genetic component there, autoimmune problem, where the body itself reacts against the pancreas, destroys the functioning of the islet cells. Next. It could be, next we'll skip the slide and go to the next one. The burden of type 2 diabetes, we will talk mainly about, concentrate mostly on type 2 diabetes, and we'll also touch upon type 1 diabetes because we have seen we have seen a lot of patients today, a lot of children today who are being treated here, who live healthily and can show us the world that how to live a healthy and productive life. Right. So symptoms, we all know osmotic symptoms: thirst, polyuria, nocturia, blurred vision, can present as any infection, and even at the time of diagnosis you could have problems like coronary artery disease, heart attack, stroke, and you can have problems with the eyes. Next. Why are we worried? And we saw that younger children, more young people are getting the other type, what we call as the type 2 diabetes. The problem today is of plenty because we have a lot of things available, but to utilize it in the right way, to have a proper lifestyle is something we have to focus upon. And there's a misconception it affects the affluent only. It does affect everybody, any socioeconomic group, any race, any age. Next. Yes, there are two factors why there is such a big burden of diabetes in our country, especially in our population. It's basically genetic, what we call as the thrifty gene hypothesis, where once upon a time the survival advantages during protracted periods of small supply of nutrients may now be detrimental because there is so much of abundant food available today and lack of physical activity. Next slide. And at least in part, from relative intrauterine malnutrition, the latter leads to lifelong metabolic programming. So somebody who was underweight and then suddenly in the adult life, when they start putting on weight, the metabolic programming is disturbed. This includes a reduced complement of islet beta cells combined with insulin resistance in skeletal muscles. And the risk appears to be high if obesity develops in adulthood. Next slide. Right, these are the native groups who have a high prevalence of diabetes, and we are one among them. You can see Pimandians, very high prevalence. Next. Lifestyle, just we said traditionally we were hunter-gatherer, now we are more westernized. Food supply is erratic at that time. Nowadays we have stable availability of food. Energy consumption was low at that time, now we have excessive consumption, low physical activity nowadays, obesity, and those are the problems we face today. Next. High risk categories, I will not run through them. Gestational diabetes is one, others we know already. Next. And the programming which happens in the fetus of the mother with diabetes is programmed for the child as well. So preventing gestational diabetes, living a healthy lifestyle, to prevent the children of the mother having diabetes in future and then propagating that further. Next. Right, we know the criteria. I'll not run to that for diagnosing diabetes. Next. And these are the problems we have already touched upon. Next. Prevention of type 2 diabetes. Yeah, like we said, how do we live healthy? First of all, we try to delay the onset of diabetes. And in case we have diabetes, how do we do that? Or what we call ITT, or the stage before diabetes or pre-diabetes. Lifestyle interventions, prevalence and incidence, and impaired glucose tolerance. In a selected Indian urban population, the IIT study done here, shown that 64% of people who have undergone lifestyle measures reverted to normal, and about 30% of them remained status quo, and 5% of them became diabetes. So it emphasizes the importance of lifestyle measures in keeping a healthy lifestyle, preventing the onset of complications, and also people developing diabetes in future. Yes. The same thing in Finnish diabetes study, the message is the same. Next. And diet, exercise reduces diabetes risk study. Next one. So this is the same thing in number. If you see the last one, lifestyle.